I remember hearing about how Cyberpunk Edgerunners was like winning these awards. Like, and this was like during the pandemic, the Wu flu, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I was winning all these awards, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, these people are munches. I don't really care, like, to hear about what munches think about. Cause, the same munches are the ones that's talking about how Attack on Titan is the greatest of all time. And then when you look at, like, people's anime lists or you hear about people's roster, it's always the same thing. Oh, I like a One Piece. Oh, yes, I like Bleach. I like a Naruto. It's like, what, are you a tourist? Like, what the hell are you? And I love a Boruto. Like, what? Oh my gosh. I can point out like a whole roster. I'm talking about like, yo, if we want to look at stuff where it's like, it was at least decent, like Shell Satan, like all that kind of stuff. We can look at like stuff from the 80s. Like we got Akira. Or we can go like to something a little bit newer, like in the 2000 range, like Paprika. Or we can come back a little bit more and be like, Panty is talking. Yeah, something like that. But the fact that people still like say like the traditional holy trinity of like either Dragon Ball, One Piece, is like for real, like nothing else exists but these series. Okay, bitches. This is why Netflix is trying to break their neck to get like the early rights distributions for like Sakamoto Days, for the sales at work, for that Bond, the vampire thing, or down. Like this is why Netflix is over here trying to get all these rights for these properties, because as soon as it come out of Japan, we get over here in the States. And it's like clear, crystal English subtitles and dubs or whatever. So this is why Netflix is doing this. So you could turn around and dig in your nose and be like, One Piece? Like, don't ask. But anyway, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I put it off because, again, I thought it was much tourist territory. Like, I don't care what these people say. I'm not watching it. So my coworker was like, hey, man, because this was the first thing I took off on my list or whatever. I was like, it's been on my list. I've been hearing things about it, and I got a coworker talk about it. Let me check it out. I could go like super duper deep into the whole like lore of it or whatever. But basically, it's like the future that we may be seeing set up with like Musk and his whole, Tesla brain chips or whatever. Augmentation, CRISPR, gene editing modification. Well, not even typically CRISPR, because CRISPR is like gene modification, but you talk about like transhumanist enhancements or whatever. So, androids, robotics, stuff like that, artificial humans, cyborgs, stuff like that. So, future, flying cars, holograms, OnlyFans, lonely guys, all that kind of crazy stuff or whatever. All right, bitch. So got that going on. You got like the guilds or, the guys that like rob and almost like Robin Hood or whatever, like cyber Robin Hood type stuff. Like they rob and do this, that, and the third. But then they got something in here where it's like, the more you use these cyborg or technology, you end up getting this psychosis. And it's cyber psycho or whatever. It's almost like the same thing with like how people use social media nowadays, how you overdo it or whatever. You end up getting like these crazy phobias or like attitudes or attributes like the Japanese cockroach lady or what's another one? Hood rats in general. Yeah, hood rats, like stuff like that or whatever. Or these OnlyFans chicks or whatever, where you kind of like get disassociated with humanity and the people around you and all that kind of stuff, whatever. So anyway, in this lore of the Cybertruck, damn it. I'm losing my brain already, but Cyberpunk, there we go, Cyberpunk. The Edgerunners, they get people that end up becoming like cyber psychos. They end up going like mass terrorist mode, scorched earth approach, and it takes like this special force to come and to blow up everything or whatever. But that's like the fringe. That's like what people that use cyber enhancements, that's what they always talk about. Like, yo, you don't want to overdo it because you're going to end up being like Johnny Somali. You're going to end up being like Brittany Griner. Like, you overdo this stuff too much, man. And doing it like, and things that you're not used to or whatever, you go off on the edge, like that. But I was not expecting the boy, David Martinez, to go through what that boy went through. He was like 16. Something happened to his mama. He ended up getting expelled. And to make up for like cash and funds or whatever, he ends up using the cyber enhancement. This boy going like Mach 5, Mach 20, going flash and all that. I'm like, what is this? So you get like the cyber aesthetic. You get like superhero aesthetic, and then you bring it to the hood. Like, but the fact that, the main character is doing his thing. And, you know, how can I say it? It's kind of like Gantz in a way. Like, you play this game of you trying to survive. You end up losing people on the way. And in order for you to survive, you got to get stronger. You got to do like more things that you didn't want to do. Like you got to take on more enhancements. You got to go more into the deep end, more off the edge or whatever. And I should have watched this shit in 2022 because the fact that I'm talking about it now, I got this energy and this love for it. It's like, damn, like I can't trust the munches, but sometimes the munches be on the right path. And sometimes I got to overlook myself or whatever, kind of like chill out and just at least give it sight or just see if it's anything to do with it. Now, some things I already know y'all crapped out about, like, oh, Chainsaw Man's the best anime. Oh, JJK is the best anime. For real, though. I mean, it might be good animation-wise, but story, oh, no. But going back to what I was saying, Cyberpunk 2022, Edgerunners, good, decent. I should have watched it sooner. This is not really no, like, review type theme form. It's just me going off the dome of what I watched, how good it was. To me, what I remember, what stuck out to me, the fact that David was like, yo, Maine, I can help. I can do that. The fact that he wanted to get put on. He wanted to get put on. See, that's like the energy that a whole lot of young guys have. Like, you see, like, big cats, like big rollers, high rollers, or whatever. You like, yo, man, I'm trying to get on. I ain't trying to be no bitch about it. I'm like, bro, I see what you doing. I like what you doing. I like your style. What can I do? The fact that you see that in anime, but yet nowadays is like in the real world, I guess because we're humans, we're like, young guys aren't like that nowadays. Young guys are lazy. They want to be on Xbox and PlayStation. They just want to beat their meats on Lonely Fans and on Cornhub, and that's why Florida banned Cornhub. Like, for real, it's crazy. So the fact that we can watch shows and be like, man, he did what he had to do to survive. Like, it's crazy how we got people that can sympathize. Like, I sympathize with David because I understand, like, the cycle of this joint. Like the start of being born into a system of poverty and like what you want to do to kind of like escape or like, because the whole thing is even like throughout David's whole story, that dude never became like a Jeff Bezos. He never got to like Jay-Z's level of things. Like he made some decent money. He probably did like way more than what he did when he was younger, what his mom could do. Of course, yeah, he did better than previous generations of the Martinez's or whatever. All right, pat on the back. But he didn't make it to like no Bill Gates level or nothing like that, if you get what I'm saying. So the fact that we can pour into this different world and look at a fictional character going through hood struggles, going through like minority struggles, going through like trap house struggles. The fact that we can look at this and then people can be like, from the safety of their rooms and be like, wow, this was just a good show. I'm glad this doesn't happen in real life. The fact that people can do that and disassociate reality from what's going on right here. This was a good show. Like, apparently when you can watch something and people still think that what's happening outside is fake and nothing like that can happen in real life, you know you got you a good show in your hands. I'm trying to think what else, bro. The story with Maine was like, man, like, he was there, that he wasn't there. He ended up getting his boo. You know, if you watch the show, you know what happened. If not, you need to watch the show. Like, Maine was like the only black dude. And he had like the whole like cybernetic arm thing, like the dude from Final Fantasy VII. Like, what's that 7? I think it was 7. Like, it's crazy how like black dudes always have like the cybernetic arms. Like, you got Maine from Edgerunners, you got Jax from Mortal Kombat, and then you got like the guy I just mentioned from Final Fantasy VII. It's crazy. You know? Are we just strong? Like, do we need more enhanced stats or something? I don't get it. But anyway, what else was I trying to get at, bruh? Damn. David, like I said, was a good character, man. Dude, a youngling. And then what happened to Maine ended up warping this man's psyche. The fact that he was holding this man's arms and people still use the meme with this man looking like he just got off the little tut-tut boat. And like he saw all his friends just get exploded in Vietnam or something. Expression on this man's face. Regret. What is it? Regret. Solace. Solacism. What else? The fact that he knew he was going to have to step up to the plate. What's the next move here? See, it's stuff that young men go through that shows, TV projects or whatever, they get it and they just explain it. Other people, like I said, they look at it, they think it's fiction. It's like, yo, this is what young dudes have to go through. Like, Maine was supposed to be like the top of the organization. He's the young guy trying to like paper trace, you know, see what he could do, learn the organizations in and out. And the fact that something happened to Maine, and he was like, you know, you're gonna have to work out and like grow into my arms or whatever. The fact that David accomplished that, and the fact that David became, if not a better leader than Maine, or if not, it was on his same level or whatever. The fact that he stepped up to the plate, even though he had a choice, he could have went back to being like an Ivy League brat or whatever, even though they was trying to use him. But still, it's like shows, TV projects or whatever of recent years. The only reason I'm saying that now is because I'm thinking about Arcane. They show you the path of the story where things could have been whole. Of course, it could have been perfect, but it could have been better than the outcome of what we see now. Like in Arcane, I'm bringing this example up where you saw Jinx and Powder. Powder and Echo were together in this alternate universe or whatever. And instead of, you know, Vi and Jinx like losing everybody or whatever, Vi was the only one that was missing in that particular timeline. So it's things that happen bad, but it doesn't end up being like 100% worse than what the current situation in reality is. So the fact that David went through his path and he ended up going like from, he could have been cool to becoming like this ass like cyborg guy or whatever, and the things that he did like in the last episode or whatever, the fact that he went from what could have been blissful ignorance, like getting your lot in life, to like going out, crashing out or whatever. I was like, damn, like it's crazy because like I said, sometimes it could be certain chain reactions where you do something that activates this, you do something else that activates this or whatever. And the path that you go on, it's like, there's really no going back from that. So the fact that even David had the option, but he probably couldn't go back, and you just see those options. I'm just talking about it, you know, third person. I was like, wow, he could have went back to being a munch, you know, but he got the upgrades. He kept going. It's like, damn, like, you know, you have like a story and you have decent writing, if not good writing, when you still like thinking about stuff, pondering, you in your chair, your couch, your bed, in the tub or whatever, and you like, damn, like, this could have went this way or it could have went that way, like, huh? And you still thinking, you still ponder. That's how you know they got your ass right there. This is not no formal review or anything, but it's definitely like you should watch The Edgerunners.